Okay, we're going to start saber work in this segment here. It's my understanding none of us have spun this piece of equipment before, so I'll go over just at least my reference points for it. This is the hilt over here, hilt guard up here, so if I say hilt versus hilt guard, there's the difference. The blade is this entire section here. I mean, parts look like a normal sword. Catch tape is right here. Is this piece of tape I have out on the side. I would recommend you tape yours like this as well. Just gives a definition point as to where to put your hands. So the same way we use those with the tab and the third on the flag, we have one here at the saber. I have a spot tape over here on this side of the saber. Not necessary, but it does help you see it when we throw it in the air. It gives you something to watch and look at. It's right at sort of the balance point in the blade. I would recommend taping that as well. My blade is also taped across the hilt. The hilt is made of a really hard composite, so it's hard to crack, but it's still crackable, and that tape will help a little bit. You can even tape across over the screw to help keep that in. That'll be something you have to tighten from now and again, just to keep that from falling out. Usually they come with like a plastic hilt guard. It's not necessary, but again, it just helps protect. There's a protector on the tip. Whether there's a protector on the tip or not, I would tape the tip anyways. It helps protect the tip, and it helps protect you from the tip. You know, if something goes wrong in the wind or you bump somebody else with it. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Those are the reference points I'll use, and we're going to start here at measure 1, movement 3. So we'll start with the saber off the sideline. Left hand is on the hilt guard, thumb just over the guard. Right hand is palm up. On the tape, when I set my hand on the tape, I usually align it with the middle finger, and then I set the tape right where the knuckle that joins the finger and the hand together. I don't wrap my thumb around it because that's going to get in the way when you go to spin or toss something. I just set my thumb flat, like thumbs up, against the back of the blade. Same thing over here. I'm not wrapping my thumb into the hilt like that. I'm just setting my thumb over top the inside of the hilt. That way we're free to flip and stuff. If I try to flip that with my thumb wrapped, I can do it, but if you notice that blade wobbles in the middle because your hand's not prepared to do what it needs to do. We're going to take the right hand at the beginning after we're set here. 1, 2. We're going to invert that hand across from the tape. So my left hand has it now palm up on the hilt. So all I did was I rotated 1, 2. I'm going to reverse that then with the hand and bring it up with the right. 3, 4 is up to the side. I can't do that and stop. 3, 4, continue that. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to grab palm up again right here. So all I did was basically flutter. We call it a flourish with this piece of equipment though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8's not spinning. It's just giving you a count to get your hand set because we're going to toss next on count 1. So far I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to release a double on count 1 here. So all I do to make that happen is a little different muscle grouping than the flag. You're just going to flick with the wrist. There's not a lot of release height change here. You won't, unless you're throwing something just really, really high, you won't have to extend your arm all the way up. Most of that saber work happens in the wrist. Rifle and flag are a little bit more bicep forearm oriented. The idea is that you're almost like you're slamming a book across here to get that free arm to shift. So we're going to throw that double. Both palms are up here. There's no prep for it. It's only a 2. We don't need 1, and it doesn't fit the flourish that we just did. We're just going to release 1, 2, 3. And we're going to catch like that. We want to catch that nice and strong. Boxed arms just like we started. Right hand palm up. Get the middle finger as close to the tape as you can. Left hand should catch down on top of the hilt guard. Okay. As we're learning, we can always cheat here, but really, that's even if you do that all on purpose as an ensemble, that's going to look wrong if I'm adjudicating what's going on over there. You really want to get that hand on the hilt, get that finger out as far as you can onto that tape over here. I mean, if you're catching here consistently, you can move that tape point in, but ideally you want it to be about 8 inches or so off the tip of the blade, because what that does is gives me a nice big boxed arm. Okay, look here, if I pull that in too far, my elbow starts to rest against the side, and that just doesn't look as strong as I carry the piece of equipment. We just caught on 3. We're going to small cone 4, and we're just going to release a blade 1 all the way over to here. So if I do that without trying to stop, and I'm going to catch that right at my spot tape when I throw it over there. So all I did was after the stir, I used just my right hand to flick the saber up, 1 rotation. Ideally, you catch that at the tape there. That's a little awkward balance point if we're just starting. So I'm going to drop that catch point down to the balance point on the saber, which is right where I have my tape here. We're going to throw that on 5, catch that on 6, because it's going to be very small. So 5, 6. Excuse me as we work through there. Let me double check my notes here. Excuse me. We're going to flourish again from this point. 7, 8, 9. So we're going to grab just like a drop spin with the left hand on the hilt, thumb down on count 9. So I catch that. The motion keeps going, so it's all fluid. 9 is down here. I'm going to release then with the left hand on 10. Double. So it's going to rotate twice. All I do is flick the hand up. I'll release like this, palm in front of my face. Sorry, then my tape slipped. You want to make sure if we're using these hilt guards that we tape well over top of them so that Velcro isn't in our way, apparently. As I release that up here, double, catch that again right at the tab or the tape marking that I have over here. And we're like this. We're going to catch that. That releases on 10, so that'll take us through count 12 as you work there. Again, after this, we're going to pop the saber up, grab into the hilt. So it's not a big pop. You don't want it to go too high because then you're chasing the hilt. You almost just let go of it and grab at the hilt. I pop it just a little bit so that I can grab right in front of my face here. So my thumb is down, hand is in the hilt, saber's pointing down, and from there I'm going to flourish up. 14, 15, 16 is going to come down diagonal. Tip of the saber is pointing off to my left in front of my body. Then I'm going to saute on 1 and extend the saber up in the air. Hilt guard is facing the left as I do that so that I can have a conventional grab on the hilt of the saber. So where we're at so far is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Saute comes up on 1. We're going to land that saute then on 2. I'm then going to swing my wrist forward, 3, 4. So as soon as I start that, I'm going to turn the wrist so that the hilt guard faces forward, bring it down in my side toaster plane, and back up, 3, 4, so it's straight up in the air now. And then I'm going to cut down 5. My hilt guard is facing back now. If my staging allows me to, I'm going to lunge a little bit to the left, pull into a right tendu, keep that left arm at a blade parallel to the saber as you come down. So we saute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as you work through that moment here. Let me double check where we're at now. We just cut down there on 5. We're going to bring this up again. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So all I do is I flourish out of that again, up 6, down 7, up 8, down across 9, just nice and lofty, 10, 11. It's going to catch it up here at port. So it's at a 45. My left hand is on the hilt guard, right hand palm up, ideally up here at the tape. This kind of catch it won't be too big of an issue if we have to cheat that a little bit because we're going to be, I'm a little taller than most of us, so my arm box doesn't need, your arm box don't need to be as far as mine is, to get the right look that we want there. As I pull that up on 11, on count 12, we're going to flip the right wrist to here. So I'm going to let go with the left hand, hit nice and strong on 12, and then we're going to do the same thing again on 14 up here. We're going to move the left hand up there, grab ideally up here at the tape, and then 15, 16, we're going to pop the wrist, 15, 16, and we're back down here at port. When you do that on 15, 16, your hand is in the hilt. Undo it. As your hand turns down, your right hand is going to take over, maintaining responsibility for the weight of the equipment, so you can slide your hand back onto the hilt guard here. So again, as we work through that there, we saute 1, 2, 3, 4, cut 5, up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just 1 pop. So it's going to take 3 counts like a double would at this tempo, but only rotate 1. So it's going to have a little bit more air under it. Then we're going to hit here on 12, 13. I'm sorry, we're going to hit here on 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Finishes out there at this phrase.